lesson 9.4, example 3, page 415 in your book. We're going to start with a video to introduce outliers.
This is Stephanie from statisticshowto.com, and in this video I'll be showing you how to find outliers for a data set. I have a set of numbers here and I want to find my outliers. Step 1, I need to find 3 pieces of information. I need to find my interquartile range, my IQR. I need to find Q1, which is the 25th percentile, and Q3, which is the 75th percentile. If you don't know how to find the interquartile range, you can check out my other video on how to find the interquartile range, which walks you through finding the IQR by hand. But I'm going to use an online calculator, which will be much faster for this video. I'm using the online interquartile range calculator at statisticshowto.com. You can find a link in the description box below this video. I've pasted in my data set, find the interquartile range, and there it gives me my 25th percentile, my 50th percentile, which is the median, the 75th percentile, and the interquartile range. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer those numbers back. My IQR is 22, my Q1 is 14, and my Q3 is 36. Step 2, I want to find 150% of my IQR. So what we do is we multiply 22 by 1.5 to get 33. Step 3, I'm going to make 2 calculations. I'm going to find a low value and a high value. My low value is Q1 minus 150% of the IQR. Well, we've already calculated these two figures. Here's my Q1, 14, and here is 150% of my IQR. So 14 minus 33 is minus 19. And for my high value, I take Q3, 150% of my IQR. Again, we've already figured these out. Q3 is 36. Add 150% of my IQR. So I'm going to add 33 this time to get 69. So there I have my lower value and my upper value. Next, I want to put my numbers in order, and my numbers are already in order. So I'll just paste those down here. I want to insert these numbers, the low value and the high value, into the data set. Well, negative 19 is going to be way down here somewhere. And 69 is going to be in between 49 and 70. So I'll insert 69 into there. The final step, I'm going to look for numbers that are below this number and above this number. Well, there are no numbers below minus 19, but there is one number above 69, and that is 70. So there is my outlier. My outlier is 70. This is Stephanie from statisticshowto.com.
After watching that video, this number line is going to make a little more sense. It's also in your book if you need to look at it. So what they've done here is given you just a drawing. You've got your median in the middle of your entire set of data. You've got your first quartile and your third quartile. Right? So what they've done is, like in the video, you take your first quartile and subtract 150%, which is the same as 1.5. Okay? So that's where your outlier will be. Same on this side, and that's where your outlier will be. When you do these calculations, sometimes it will bring you, as it did in the example, way out here in the negatives, And in your line of data, there is nothing past that. Sometimes when you figure this side out, or it can be either side, like they did in the video, the outlier, I'm sorry, not the outlier, the number will calculate within the data, which then anything outside those two numbers you've just calculated are your outliers. Okay? This is used when you are checking for outliers that are not as obvious as the ones that we do in class. Right now, at this level, when we do a dot plot, you see the outliers. They're totally obvious, but sometimes outliers aren't very obvious and you have to calculate them, and that's what this is. All right, at this point, I need you to do the on your own on page 415. Couple things. You may need to go back and watch the video. You can reference this chart. Okay, so think of how you can answer this. When you're done, check with a partner to see how they came out with the answer. Check with a partner, discuss it, then go check it in the answer book. So work out the problem by yourself, check with a partner, check the answer book, and then come back. The only thing I wanted to catch on this, to bring you back, was for you to notice that this range of data, these data values, were an odd number. So remember back to the video previous to this where that number 10 was right in the middle. You do not use that number because it's right in the middle. You have an even amount of data to the left and an even amount of data to the right. So when you're trying to find out the median for quartile 1 and quartile 3, exclude that median if it's an odd number. That's the only thing I wanted to remind you of. Check your packet for what exercises you have to do.